Well, I did it. I mowed down my blackberries. I mowed them about a 1.5 foot tall, and we're just gonna have to see. I know some of you are screaming at me right now, wishing you had blackberries and wouldn't treat yours like this probably. I'm assuming that most of them are going to start doing that right there, and that's from the place that I cut off, going to start producing laterals. And I'm not under the illusion that I'm going to have a huge crop next year, anything like that. I've got to get the grass out of these. But you know, like that one right there, it's mowed about 1.5 foot tall, and it'll start putting out laterals. I hope. I mean, we're gonna see. You and I are gonna see together how this works. I've even got a couple little red berries there. Now, why did I do this? Well, I told you before that I had, you know, there's one right there that I cut off, and it's already starting to put out laterals, so that's a good sign. I told you before that the gophers and the moles were had just devastated my blackberry patch, and because of that, I just didn't have hardly any blackberries this year. Find something to show you while I talk. See, there's a smaller cane that came up that, you know, I cut it. You can see where I cut it off at the top, but it's those laterals should grow some. The gophers had, and this is where my mower, when I came through, snagged something and just kind of uprooted, pulled out all the mulch that was there. I really didn't hardly have anybody come out and pick, because I didn't advertise, because I knew I didn't have the berries. So it really, these berries can be a hassle to mow in between, especially the thorned ones. I mean, I like to, when I can, sometimes mow in shorts, and oh my gosh, it just looked like you got attacked by a panther when you get through. But it wasn't worth, this year it was not worth the little dab of income that I had off these berries, and the little dab that I got off of them. And I've still got berries in the freezer from 2 years ago, so I didn't pick that many. It just was not worth the effort. So I made them manageable for me to be able to come through here, and either on my ride mower, or now that I've got the ones that were hanging off in the aisle, I've got those out of the way, I can come through here now with my 6-foot brush hog and mow it. And yes, it is 93 or 4 degrees right now. I'm sweating. Just got back from walking. Well, there's another good sign. This cane kind of got laid down. It didn't get cut off that shard. It kind of got laid down before it got mowed over, but it's already got new growth on it. Right there's new growth, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna have some berries next year, and I'll probably have, unless the gophers continue their devastation, I'll have probably as many berries as I had this year, which is not many, but it's enough to have some friends and family come over. And one other reason I did this, something I've talked about before, I haven't advertised in the last 3 years. This is my fourth year to do U-Pick. It's my 3rd year to do a donation U-Pick. In other words, someone would come and pick and say, you know, what do you charge per pound? And I would say it's whatever you want to pay per pound. You know, suggested donation is $3 a pound, but you pay whatever you want to. And most everybody paid the $3, so that's okay. The reason I did that, let me just turn around here. I'll show you the travelers and the freedoms. The reason I did that is because, I'm just gonna park so I won't be jiggling you around. The reason I did that is because I was just worried about the liability. Somebody comes on my place and gets hurt, snake bit, falls, and anything, I am liable, and my insurance would not cover it. I called them and asked them specifically, and they said no. So from that point on, I have been concerned about that, and it's just, it prompted me to do instead of charging, and where it's a commercial operation, where I just let people come out and pick and would give me whatever they wanted to donate for the berries. Now, would that have, if somebody got hurt, would my insurance have covered it because it's not as much of a commercial enterprise anymore? I don't know. That was what I was doing, and that's what I was doing anyway. So I don't know what's going to do next year. I'll bring you out here in a week or two and show you any new growth, and so you can see what it's doing. You know, but it's a radical change. First morning I got up and looked out the window, and I'm used to seeing a hedge out here, you know, 6-7 rows of solid berries, and it was kind of a strange sight to look at and see. So it's different. It's I don't know what it's not self-preservation. It's just, I was just tired of keeping these berries up, pruning all the old ones out, which is a horrible July, hot, scratchy, in briars and everything else. It's just a tough job to have to do that in July. And so I've done it now, and when I mowed the new canes and the old canes, so they got pruned out. Anyway, let me take you down here and I'll show you the Travelers and the Freedoms. I did not mow them down. This is a Traveler row, as you can see with all the grass. There's not much here until you get down here to the very end. Now, I'm leaving the Travelers as long as I can get them. I mean, as long as they will get. And I've only got about 4 plants of Travelers. And then I'm leaving the Freedoms. I've got about 4 or 5 plants of Freedoms, and a few coming up in the middles there. And what I'm going to do is propagate some of these canes. And I'm still interested in growing berries, don't get me wrong. I had to do something different. And I have to stop the gophers. I'm working on that. And it wasn't worth the care that goes into these for the little reward I had, for the little income I had on them. So I'm trying something new, and we'll see. This may be, you know, it may be a good thing to do every year. We'll just have to see. Certainly they're not going to get that tall. Anything that comes up now, I mean, I'll make sure they're watered, but anything that comes up now is not going to get, you know, 5, 6, 7 feet tall probably. So the plants will be shorter. The canes will be shorter, but that's okay. You know, it's not about how tall the canes are, it's about how many berries are on those canes. So we'll see. Again, next year I will probably, well, we just don't know. I was gonna say I'll probably have to turn people away that want to come pick, but who knows? We may have, I didn't have that many this year. Next year couldn't be much worse, I don't think. I just want to show you what I did, and tell you that I don't know that it's the right thing to do. It is what I did, because I'm trying to lessen my workload. Somebody asked me in a comment yesterday, do I do all this myself? Yes, I do. I don't have any help. And so interspersed in all that grass, there is, I'm seeing, I don't know whether you can make out on camera or not, but I'm seeing some berries. And I got a few that I missed. That one's kind of hanging out in the middle of the aisle. What I'll probably do, in fact, I'll just do it right now. He's hanging out in the aisle, so I'll just cut him off at about 16, 18 inches tall. He's not standing up straight, but if he was standing up straight, that's what it'll be. And There's a few others that are hanging out in the aisle that I'll do that with. So here's what I've done. This is my experiment. Most of it looks like just complete devastation right now. But most of it that you see that looks all splintered and all that, that was last year's canes. They've already produced and died, so it's not the new stuff. Now that's kind of green. It may be new stuff. But I expect for it to start putting on some laterals. We'll see. I'll keep you informed. Some of you are saying, what in the world have you done? If that was my berry patch, I would have never done that, and you probably wouldn't, and that's okay. I'm trying to get a handle on something here, and I'm trying to make it manageable. I had to take down the trellises to do this. By the way, the trellises worked great. I don't have any complaints with them, but I took them down to, and that right there is an old cane. That would have died, or is dying anyway. The trellises worked real good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my video on the simple, easy way to trellis blackberries. It did work real well, and but I took them down so I could mow, and even if they do come back strong and grow real well, they'll be short and won't need a trellis. That's something I had in mind. You know, one reason I took down the trellises is because whatever's left should be pretty short. It should be more of a bush instead of a big tall cane. So we'll see. All right, you can get mad at me. I want your comments. Give me a comment. Tell me I'm an idiot. That's all right. You don't have to come out here and take care of these things. Okay, I just want to let you know what I'm doing. And I think I'll go in and eat a mushroom. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. All right. I wish I knew what that was. Some kind of weed that has popped up, and it's all in. It's just everywhere in this. It looks like buckwheat, and it's growing some kind of little seed in the top of it. It kind of looks like it's maturing on top and getting a getting a little seed. I don't know. Almost looks like buckwheat. I don't know why it would be buckwheat, but who knows? Somebody identify that for me. There's some more brand new growth coming up. That one right there, that big tall one right there in the middle, that is new growth since I mowed. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you informed. Okay, we're gone.